This is the Drewsperience, the show that's 80% combat sports and 20% everything else. Tonight, I'm joined by a big legend. This guy, if there's a Quebec Martial Arts Hall of Fame, he deserves to be in it. He was known as the first Quebec superstar to help put MMA on the map. He's also a successful entrepreneur owning Crow Martial Arts. He fought for the middleweight title back in 2006, and that helped put Canadian mixed martial arts on the map. It is a big, big honor to be joined tonight by David the Crow Loiseau. Welcome, David.
Hey, thank you, my man. Thanks for the warm welcome. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm glad to be on your show, man.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. It's you're so accomplished and you have so many stories. So, we got to get down to business. So before you became the Crow as a fighter, who was David Loiseau?
Regular guy that loves martial arts, that loves sports training. Had a regular childhood, nothing crazy. I went to the French school all the way to high school. Then I to college. I went to Dawson College. Yeah, man, I've been competing for a long time. Like I started, I was 9 years old in karate, Kyokushin karate. And after that, I went on to Taekwondo, kickboxing, then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I turned professional in June 2000 at 20 years old. I turned pro. And then, I had my UFC debut in 2003. It was UFC 42. And, man, I had a pretty cool career. I fought professionally for 15 years. I was training for fights and stuff and fighting. So, yeah, fun journey.
Yeah, you were fighting when the sport was about to take off, like really, like when it was finally getting out of the dark ages. So what was that like? When I say the dark ages, I mean like it was on the cusp, but Zuffa had a lot of issues getting the sport sanctioned. We spoke about this in one of the clubhouse meetings where you spoke about how they were just always on the cusp, but they had to find a way to to put eyes on the sport. And Tough did that, and then you were just there. You had the chance to be in that era. So what was it like when it exploded in 2005?
When it exploded, man, it's funny you say that because I had my first big fight where I fought it in front of a big crowd was in 2005. After Tough had finished, and it was in Atlantic City at the Trump Plaza. It was against Charles McCarthy. It was June 2005, and man, I walk out. There's like 20,000 people. I wasn't sure, but it was a full house, and I was in the prelims. It was full in the prelims. I walk out. I'm like, oh snap, this is real. And then I finished the fight. I won with a spinning back kick, and then the crowd went berserk. Man, the crowd went crazy. Wow, and it was a crazy knockout. It was fun, man. This is when the sport changed. Like that night, I realized, okay, this sport is becoming big. It was pretty cool feeling. And then right as I walk out, I walk out. Fans are going crazy. Then I get changed, blah blah. We go and watch the rest of the fights, because I was in the prelims. So we're sitting down. And then there's Roy Jones Jr. there. I'm like, hey, Roy, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture with you? He's like, hey, yeah, no problem. No. Great fight. No. That kick was crazy. He was talking super fast, and I was super nervous. I'm like, oh, my God. Roy Jones saw me perform. What the hell? Roy Jones Jr. It was so fun, man. Such a cool experience because he was like, someone I looked up to for the longest time, What a great champion, a great athlete. It was one of the things that I remember that night was pretty cool, man.
That's awesome, especially the fact that like now like the boxers are like watching you fight. So like, did it feel kind of surreal? Like you were really in like a movie or a dream? You're like, what's going on here? I never imagined this.
Exactly. I knew I had a feeling it was gonna get big, but to that extent, to that level, I don't know, man. Look at what's going on now. I mean, it's crazy, you know, the level that it got to. Look at what Conor McGregor did with the fight game. I mean, he, you know, love him or hate him, Conor McGregor raised the bar. He raised the bar for all the fighters. Everybody should be thankful of this guy because people are getting paid, you know. He created a crazy rivalry with Habib, and man, the numbers, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers with Floyd. The numbers wouldn't be that big if Conor didn't sell it the way he sold it, you know.
And I really agree with you there, because I don't know, maybe because if you've seen it all. So the way I look at it, because I have a degree in history, so it's funny that I use it for the mixed martial arts history.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it. People got to know, if you're a real fan of mixed martial arts, I have a duty to tell the history, and I want to show you something. So one day when the COVID's over, I want you to, can you sign part of this book? Like, I'm going to bring it to Crow.
Yeah, that's like didn't that come out for the 25th anniversary of
Came
UFC?
out on the 22nd. It came out in 2015.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, for sure, man. If when this COVID thing is over, when I can meet human beings, you know, in person, I'll sign it, man.
Yeah, you got it, man. That, to have your signature, like, because I'm going on like a tour. Like, the goal is to get your signature, Gegard's, John Jones, and like a few others. So just to like say, I got.
What about George, man? You need George's signature, bro.
I already got George's.
You got George's already.
Yeah, his wrestling coach Misha did me a favor, because like Misha used to shop at my old job that I used to work at in a grocery store. So he used to always come by, and he's like, and we used to talk fighting, and he's like, and I said, Misha, I have this book. Do you want to give it to him? And he's like, yeah. It's like, I'll get him to sign it. So yeah, so one's down, but I got like five or six more to go.
I know Misha, man. He's a great guy, man. Wrestling coach.
He's an OG.
He's an OG, man, for sure.
He really is cool. But to take it back, because you know, we were saying, because you said Conor McGregor propelled the sport, and just, yeah, in 2015 when Conor came in, George had left, and I felt like, you know, we can all agree that year of 2014 was a bit of a down year, because there was not really many stars. Like, yeah, John Jones, but John was dominating. It was kind of like watching MJ perform with the Bulls, basically, when John would be in the cage, and then Conor came in. So would you agree that phenomenon where Conor came back and started putting on like that bad boy persona, that helped like really propel the sport again?
Yes. Well, you know, having the bad boy persona is not enough. You know, you need the performance. You need to be able to deliver. You know, and yeah, you need the bad boy, the performance, and the charisma. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of bad boys that are not charismatic, that don't deliver, that don't fight when they don't win when it counts. But Conor, during that period of time, man, he just delivered, charismatic. He did fantastic. Sold the fights. Was predicting the fights. Like, yeah, predict these fights. Call me Mystic Mac. I mean, the guy did so much for the sport of MMA. People are hating on him right now, but when he retires, when he's done with the sport, people will look back and be like, yo, this guy did a lot, you know. I'm aware of what's going on. I'm totally aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people they're caught up in the drama. Oh, he said this about Habib, this and that. I'm looking at the big picture. This guy, you got to be thankful for this guy.
Very true. I definitely agree. Whether you love him or hate him, you're gonna miss him. You fought in the middleweight division, and the middleweight division has an interesting history. When you came up, Rich Franklin was the champion, and you had the privilege of, you know, getting there. You reached the highest pinnacle, and not many people, and people should know that, like, you really helped. Like, you are a champion for Canadian martial arts for what you did on March 8th, 2006 at UFC 58. And what did when you look back at that, what did
it wasn't March 8th, man. It wasn't March 8th.
March 8th?
I think it was
March 4th.
Check. March 4th. Ah, I remember, man.
Better than me, you know it. What was it like to represent Canada versus USA? And then, regardless of the outcome, how do you feel you helped grow the sport of mixed martial arts after that?
I mean, it wasn't only after that. It was, before, during this fight. I mean, it was great. It was an honor for me to represent Canada. Like back then, I was the guy back then. Like I was the flavor of the month. I had a few very dynamic victories. A lot of good fights, back to back finishes in the UFC. So I had my chances. I had good chances of winning, and I didn't perform to the best of my abilities. I really believe that I could have done much better. I didn't, but still, it's like, man, I finished the fight standing up, on my feet. I kept on fighting round after round. I just kept on trying. I got back up, and I finished standing up. Which shows my spirit, my fighter spirit. I didn't quit. A lot of people, man, if you look at my face and my eyes during the fight, you could see my eyes are shut, and there's no quit in me. And I showed a lot of heart, and you got to respect that, man. And if you don't, it's your problem, because I respect. I'm happy with the fact that I fought till the end and I didn't quit. Easily, I could have said, you know what, I've had enough in the fourth round. After the third round, after the fourth round, I said, no, man, I'm standing up. I'm standing up till the end, till the bell rings, till the final bell rings. And I think that anybody should, once again, look at the big picture, watch my fight, and be like, yo, that's a lot of heart, a lot of courage.
Everybody wants to be a fighter until they see what it's like to get punched in the face. It's just like it's so funny. Like I was in a clubhouse chat room, and like they're like, I said, yeah, I compete in Kyokushin karate. Someone, bro, can you teach me karate? Like, so it's like, yeah, it's like, come to my gym and I'll charge you $160. No, that's too expensive. Well, based on my experience, I think, you can look in YouTube for free, but you won't get the quality that you'll get one-on-one with the person. And for that comment, I'm going to make sure you walk out with a bruise or two for.
Once, a few times it happened. People tell me, yeah, you're kind of expensive, and I said, for one time I posted on my stories, I said, for those that say that I'm expensive, I'm going to tell you what's expensive is the price I paid for my knowledge. Everything that I teach you, I paid a serious price. All these fights, all these training camps, all these injuries, surgeries, these trips to New Mexico, California, you know what I'm saying? Here, there, man, this journey, I paid a heavy price, and I should be allowed to charge whatever I feel like charging.
Exactly. Just everyone's they're an they're a spectator. Like that's the thing, everybody thinks it's easy to fight, but they don't, then they get in there and they actually see like how, costly it can be.
If it was easy to fight, everybody would do it, and there's so many people that can last. I had a 15-year professional fighting career. Try to last 1 year as try to do, go do one training camp, one real fight training camp at TriStar. Just go. Let me know how it goes if you survive. You know what I'm saying? It's real, man. It's real. There's conditioning, diet, technique, sparring. There's so many things that you have to go through to get to the fight. And there's injuries, concussions, the pressure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of people just see the end result. They see the result, what happens in the cage or in the ring. There's so much more before. So much more that goes on before that. You know what I'm saying? The things I just named before, I mean, there's a lot that goes with it. But at the end of the day, I understand why people criticize like that, because they don't know better. They don't know. And, as a fighter, that's the life I chose. So it is what it is, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I'm allowed to educate people. That's what I want to do. Educate people on the fact that there's a lot more than these 25 minutes or these 15 minutes that you see when the fighter's out there, competing.
Yeah, there's like when I did I mean, look, it'll never be to the level of your, but like when I was competing in Kyokushin, I mean, shout out to my coach Mohammed Chik, who and who's a beast. And Mo was like, Mo, yeah, that's right. And him and Justin. So yeah, Mo was like training me, and it's Oh, sorry, I didn't catch there, Dave. Sorry, man. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, there was and just the constant training, the nutrition, the discipline, man. Like it's like the hard work, the days you don't want to go. It's like you're like, damn, it's like I got to do this again. Oh, great. Okay, well, the tournament or this is coming, but then you get there, and that's the reward for all the hard work, all the early mornings that you didn't want to do it. Nothing is more savoring than getting to finally compete.
Yep, yep, yep. It's the competition. You gotta crave the end result. You have to crave that victory, man. You gotta visualize it, picture it, get familiar with winning. You know, you have to see it and believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
And
Very true.
and then the hard work becomes like almost irrelevant. Like you got to be addicted to that, to the end result, so that training hard is the bare minimum. Is like yo, you gotta train. You gotta be so obsessed with performing well that the coach should be pulling the leash on you. Like you're like the dog. You're like ready to eat, but the coach has to pull. Hey, tone it down, tone it down. Take a day off. Take a training off. Skip this training session here. You know, that's how obsessed you got to be if you want to be successful. You know, and that's in business, in life, in fighting, and you know, competing in ballet. If you want to do ballet, and you know, whatever you want to do. You want to swim. You want to become the best swimmer. You want to compete at a high level. You need obsession. You need to be obsessed. Focused and obsessed.
Very true. Now, since you fought in middleweight, so you've seen a lot of legends, like such as, you know, you've seen Anderson Silva, you shared the cage with Rich Franklin, you fought the late Evan Tanner. You also had the chance to see Gegard Mousasi come up in his heyday, and not a lot of people. And every time I tell people, like I say, guys, if there's one fighter you have to watch before he leaves, it's Gegard Mousasi. What was it like to be in that Alberta arena with him back in 2008 where he fought Cyborg?
Yeah, when he fought Cyborg, you know, I was there. I was there that night, you know, getting ready to fight, and to see, like I knew who he was, and I knew how of a high level he was. But man, his composure, his demeanor, you know, his energy before the fight, man, you should see him so relaxed, just joking around with his trainer and you know, just really, you know, there's a lot of guys that fake it, that fake being comfortable. This guy is comfortable. This guy don't give a damn. He knows exactly what he's about to do and how things are about to go down, and he's very confident. But to each their own now, because I mean, a lot of guys perform better when they're focused and you know, like intense, and some people like to be relaxed, you know. But he's very, very relaxed.
That's awesome. Now, and in that era, now the UFC is not the monopoly it is today, but back then there was like Strike Force, Elite XC, the promotion you had it. I don't remember the name of the promotion that was
Pride.
There's not only Pride, of course. Pride, come on,
Pride.
man.
Pride, Shudo, all these guys. Pancrase.
Yeah, there's that. Before like Bellator and one, how do you feel that era compares?
TKO, sorry, TKO. I was the world champ for TKO. Yeah. UCC. Yeah.
That's crazy. So like, what was that like, that era, man? Like you had all these little promotions you could go around, and then you didn't have to be obligated to one. Did you like that? Do you miss that era? And do you think that's needed today in a sense, or is it more organized compared to back then?
There was a lot of little shows. It was great, but we all wanted to go to the UFC or Pride. Like we're all fighting on these shows to get there. So it's like at the end of the day, I mean, there's still little shows here and there, but anyways, myself and the guys in my circle, the guys that I train with, the goal was UFC, man, or Pride. You know, that was the goal. So I don't really miss it. I'm not competing anymore, so it's like, but it's fine. It's fine. The way things are now, I mean, there's a UFC and Bellator. There's less shows, but UFC are having a lot more events. When I was fighting, let's say when I fought Rich Franklin for the world title, I mean, it was a show every 5 months, 4 months, you know, maybe 3 months, you know, but the buildup was crazy buildup for the fights, you know. It was, yeah, man, there was not a lot of events. Now every month, you can't go a month without having a UFC, right?
They've done well. They've done very well. Like, just really solidifying themselves as like the mecca of North American mixed martial arts.
Oh yeah, they're the top dogs. In Asia, obviously, like ONE FC is very present. They're very strong. But I mean, North America. I mean, there's a big difference between the ONE champion and the UFC champion. Like the world champion, the champion of the world, is in the UFC. When it comes to the critics rankings, even though there might be a guy in ONE FC that beats the UFC champ, or Bellator, the guy from Bellator that has that number to beat the UFC champ, it's still not the same. That league, that status of UFC champion of the world is still the top. No disrespect to anybody, but I'm just going with facts.
No, I definitely can't see where you're coming from. It's a very valid point. And you said, look, you're the former UCC champ, you're a former TKO champ. You've seen the landscape evolve constantly, and you still watch it from now as like a coach, since you went from one side to the other. And when you retired, how did you start Crow MMA? By the way, I've seen it on Instagram. Guys, if you're looking for a premier mixed martial arts gym, please go to Crow MMA. The guy, it's lit. They're killing it, and they are really teaching. And Master David really knows how to teach kids the values of martial arts. I just give you a free ad read there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. That's one thing. I'm hands-on. It's not like I put my name on something and I just let people teach. I teach. I'm the one teaching. I teach hands-on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing. I have one guy, Thomas Sumantri. He's teaching the Muay Thai classes. He has a Muay Thai program in there. But when it comes to MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, it's me, man. I teach all the classes, adults and kids. So I'm there working my butt off every day when the government lets me. When the government lets us operate, when the government lets us work. But right now I can't. I'm not allowed privates. I'm not allowed nothing. It's crazy.
It really is, because martial arts are essential. Like when I had the AAMQ on, like, shout out to them too for trying to really get to create that dialogue to safely open the dojos. Because I'm telling you, if you really want, look, we can learn stuff in school. You can always learn in school, but the life skills you learn in martial arts are timeless. No matter what walk of life you come from, whether you're like a regular Joe, whatever your creed, color, orientation, or if you're like, or if you have like a mental disability, like I saw some of the reviews like that, like, I just want to say, like how, your gym is so highly sought after. Like, I remember 2 people said, what I love about David, I'll never forget this. It was someone that when I was training with Mo, he came by to train with us one time. And the guy said, what I love about David, and I'm butchering the quote here, but he said, David is so patient. He loves what he does. And when you love what you do, people see it. And the fact that he has a way of working with people from all walks of life is why I always tell others, hey, send your kids there. So.
Oh, man, whoever said that, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's the thing with me, man. I don't care if you're nobody, like a 6-year-old kid that never trained martial arts, or the next MMA superstar. I couldn't care less. Everybody gets the same love. You could be Conor McGregor could walk in my gym tomorrow. I'm telling you, you'll see it. You'll get the same treatment as the 5-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets. That's what I'm saying. I won't show him love and the nobody, the one that doesn't compete, no love. I show love to everybody just the same, because I love teaching, man. I love giving back to the people, because I was blessed and fortunate to have a lot of mentors and trainers that helped me out a lot. And to be honest, when I opened the school, I wasn't sure that I was gonna like it that much. I'm like, man, that's a lot of responsibilities, man. Teaching and having a program, and then, man, it's probably the best decision I made in my adult life is to start teaching. You know what I'm saying? It's teaching is fantastic. It's great, man. I love it. I love teaching, motivating people, inspiring people, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and and like just like because you're and because like and when you and it really shows like I just heard that in your voice, and like I see it like on Instagram what you do, like you're just like at peace, you're in that flow state. And the other thing I want to talk about too is with you is because like you are the definition of like a hard worker in terms of like you came from you're Creole, right? If I'm not mistaken, your parents are
Yes, yes,
Haitian.
born and raised in Montreal, Canada,
Yeah.
but my parents are from Haiti, and
Mhm.
I speak Creole and all that stuff. But yeah, originally Haitian. Yes.
And especially today, like, as we see, I don't want to make it political, but we see what's going on, like with those who are marginalized. And how do you feel like in today's day and age, you're going to use your platform to like really like, show people no matter what, like if they're like from a marginalized part of society, hey, look, look what I've accomplished. Don't like, cause they end up like sometimes people make bad choices and they see you and they're like, wow, you know what? I could be successful if I put my mind to it. So how do you use your platform to make sure youth today, like whether especially they're from like um they're from like troubled backgrounds, like how do you feel like your platforms can help them be better
You,
people?
I do that all the time. I don't know if you could check out my Instagram or my especially my stories. I do a lot of stories, but my Instagram, there's no politics. There's
Mm.
zero politics in there. No, it's about improving yourself, staying focused on your grind, staying focused on your purpose, and bettering yourself and be good to others, be good to yourself. Um, um, that's the message I give out all the time. I don't I don't care about politics. You want to change the world, change your damn self. Look in the mirror, change your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Improve on yourself. Be a better person. Be a better human being. And have short-term goals and then long-term goals for whatever, for your personal life, for spiritual life, for your professional life, for your professional life, whether it's in sports or whatever it is. Short-term goals, long-term goals, and improve. Try to be better than you were yesterday. Try to be better. Try to improve. I'm always looking for ways to improve the way I teach, the way I'm running my business. The way I got into acting a few years ago, and now I'm back into it, and I'm learning. And there's always ways to be better. There's always ways to improve. And also patience. That's one thing I learned. Any good thing, any solid thing that's gonna last, you need patience. It takes time to build. It takes time to build. Everybody nowadays, a lot of people want overnight success. They want instant gratification. It takes time. It takes time, man. You know, took me 5 years, 5 solid years to build my gym, and then COVID happened. But like I invested a lot of time, a lot of money. Never again. Look at all my posts. I never complain. Never. I don't complain. I work, work. You know. I have a T-shirt. I put it up on Amazon. I designed a T-shirt. It says, "Nobody cares. Work harder."
Love it. I gotta buy it. I'm gonna have to buy that shirt because that's what I do. I have that focus now. Like when I do this podcast, like I'm just pumping out content because I love connecting with people, especially in combat sports, because I just feel like everybody has a story to tell that's helped contribute to the growth of not only mixed martial arts but martial arts in general, whether it's BJJ, Kyokushin karate, Muay Thai, boxing. So that's what I love doing about it. I just put that work in. I don't care about the views or the likes. It's more about for me how people are impacted. When I have people come to me and say, "Hey, this impacted me to make me a better person," I care about that more than the views or the likes or subscribes because it's so easy to get caught up in that.
Don't, don't. You shouldn't care. Put out content. Put out content. You know what I'm saying? That's like, man. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on the numbers. It's crazy, man. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I did for the past 3 years. I've been working on a little project. I was writing a Creed, a script for Creed, the movie Creed. You saw Creed,
Yeah, I've seen number one and two.
yeah, exactly. So I started writing, and then a friend of mine was like, "Yo, man, we should just do a short film, a fan made film, and see how it goes, how it comes out." And then I'm like, "Okay, let me finish the script and then I'll give it to you, see what you think." He's like, yo, this is crazy. Let's do it. That's a good friend of mine, Patrick Barbeau. He does independent films as well, and independent short films. So then, man, we came out. We edited. I said, okay, let's put some music here. Let's put there. Let's change the images. We fixed it up. And then I said, you know what, man, let's experience it. Let's just put it out there. See how it goes, see what's the response. I didn't care about the numbers. I just wanted to see what people thought, I didn't, to be honest, I was like, I mean, I'm here in Montreal doing my thing. I'm not bothering nobody. Today, it's like 3 months ago, I released that thing, 3 or 4 months ago. It has 1.1 million views. 1.1 million.
That's amazing.
I didn't expect that, man. It's making so much noise. I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting messages. It's fantastic, man. I'm super grateful, that Patrick, took the chance and invested time with me. We invested time and money, and then came out with something great, man. And it's making a lot of noise. So I'm super grateful. Hopefully something good comes out of this. And yeah, man.
Now you're doing good, man. I love it. A few people wanted me to say hi for you. So first of all, Sandro, Coach Sandro, he said very good things about you. He said there's an inside joke, but I can't remember it. So Sandro, I just don't want to ruin it. So he said he wanted to tell me that he said, hey legend. He said, hey legend, what's up? He's like, he hopes you're doing great with everything. Jeremy Rubin from TriStar also says hi. I had him on my show too. He was like, I said David Loiseau is coming on my show. He's like, tell David Loiseau I miss him. I say hi. Obviously, Mo and Justin were super ecstatic that I got you on to come on. And yeah, man, like you're just so loved, and like you really played such a big role, not just in like the pro scene, but just outside and who you are as a person. And that's what I like. That's what I can take from you. It's like, put your head down, do the work, and the right people will come along. Because the one thing is like, it's so everybody wants to try to include themselves, but why try to like be accepted when you were born to stand out and do your own thing? And
Amen, bro, you're speaking the truth, and that's exactly it, bro. The right people will come along. Don't chase nobody, bro. Do what you got to do. Do you? Obviously, you can't build an island by yourself. You need people like just like I needed Patrick. I needed an acting coach to help me out, to train all that stuff. For my fighting career, I needed coaches. I needed training partners. But I didn't chase nobody. There's not one person I chased. You know what I'm saying? I present myself to the gym. They accepted me, and that was Angelo Exarchakos when I showed up at TriStar Gym. Angelo's the guy that started the MMA and the Jiu-Jitsu at TriStar back in the day. He's a Renzo Gracie student, and he would go to New York and come back, show us the knowledge, go to New York, come back. Did a big sacrifice for us, and yeah. So I presented myself. They liked me. They let me train with them. I didn't beg, like same thing with Patrick for the movie. Don't beg nobody. Just work hard. Show your work ethic, and just do good, be good. Just throw positivity all the time. You know what I'm saying? People throw negativity at you. I learned that the hard way. I used to be like, yo, this mother. No, now it's like, oh yeah, you throwing shades at me? Let me show you some love, dog. Let me show you some love. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, it works, man. Especially the haters. They're like, that's the worst thing to a bully. That's the worst thing to a bully, man. The bully comes at you, he's like, yo, man, you ugly, man, you show sucks. Hey, man, thank you for watching, man. I wish you the best. The bully's like, man, I need another victim. I need some reaction, man. I need something. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, when they come at you with that negativity, their level is here. And when you go back, you're like, you know what? This one says fuck you. You're like, fuck you too. No. Don't say nothing. Stay above. And then they're gonna be bored, and they're gonna go look for other people that are at a low vibration. Mm-hmm. Stay high. Ignore. It's so important, man. It's so important to ignore, block. Some people talk shit to you online. If they don't mean nothing to you, like if you don't need to work with them, block.
Exactly. So exactly.
Man.
It works. It really works.
Stay away from negativity, bro. It's not even worth it. It's not even
Life's
worth
too
it.
short.
Because I know that the way you're doing it, you're building up your platform. You're building up your thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a tip that I'm gonna give you that worked tremendously for me in my life. When I decided to open my gym, you should see the amount of people that called me. David, you need something, man? Whatever you need, man. But like, this is not 2-3 people. I'm talking about at least 30 people call me. Dave, you need something? You need money? You need something? I'm telling you, man, it's kind of crazy. You know why? Because all the time I'm always giving my time, giving advices. I don't care. I don't want nothing in return. Nobody owes me nothing. Nobody else owes me nothing. But I'm telling you, when I decide to make moves and do something, universe, God gives me, man. You know?
Rewards those. If I believe in the saying, if you do good, good comes to you. And if you like
Yes,
do bad, it comes back. It's cyclical.
Yes. Absolutely, man. You know, but you do good, but also don't let people take advantage of you and set your boundaries. It's important to recognize as well people that don't appreciate what you bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's important.
And sometimes there's some that try to overstep their boundaries a bit. And it's like, sometimes you got to tell them like, yo, like, for example, like, I'm going to give you an example. Like I had some people like trying to always message me. Hey, you should get this guy and I just said, thank you. I appreciate it. I said, thank you. I appreciate it. But then at one point it gets to the point where like, it's like, guys, it's like, I appreciate the fact that you take time to watch, but please stop messaging me constantly to get this guest on. When I get them, but you're kind of overcrossing a boundary when I've already said politely, on se calme, relax a bit.
But you know, if they write you one time, you have to understand like this. It's their right, you know, to like you should be grateful that they're reaching out to you and tell you should get. But 2-3 times, then okay, tell them to tone it down. But every time someone reaches out to you and asks you makes a suggestion, take it. You know, it's important. It's important because first of all, it shows that they're interested in you. Like that means you're relevant. If you weren't relevant, they wouldn't talk about you. They wouldn't reach out to you. You know.
True.
So yeah, man. But when it becomes annoying, then time to slow down. But not. Don't make a big message, guys. Don't tell me what to do. That's no good.
No, of course not. Like I always say, take the time to appreciate others. Like even a suggestion, yeah. Like I'll be like, I always say thank you. I'm going to consider that because it shows that I'm taking time to be like, yeah, you got to do it. But yeah, the 2 to 3 times it was happening with like only like maybe 2 people, then now they understand. But yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, bro.
What do you feel is the state of the middleweight division now? Like, how do you look at it with Izzy as the champion?
Bro, I don't follow as much as I used to, man. I know Izzy's the champion. He went up to light heavyweight to fight for the belt. He's fighting this weekend for the light heavyweight belt. I mean, he's very dominant, he's charismatic, athletic. He could do it all. He could fight. He could dance. I mean, the guy could do it all. So he's 20-0. Fantastic fighter, man. The way he moves, he can do it all. And I think he's gonna be successful for a long time. The way when he beat all these guys, when he beat Paulo Costa, when he beat the Cuban,
Romero.
the Hulk, the incredible Romero. I call him the Cuban Hulk. See you soon, boy. That guy, you know, man, the way he beat these guys, I mean, legitimate. He beat Anderson Silva, bro. I mean, I know it's not prime Anderson, but still, he beat some legit guys. So I think he's gonna be hard to beat.
Awesome. That's awesome. So, you know, I know you, first of all, I know like we can only do about like 35 minutes and I know you're a busy guy. So I really want to take the time to thank you for coming on. Like, even though
how much time is this now? How much?
Oh, it's already 8:48.
It's 48 minutes.
It's already 8:48. It's already, because we started at like 8:15. So it's like, that's why.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's keep going a little bit, man. Let's keep going. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. The show doesn't stop. the show doesn't stop until David says it stops for another 10 minutes, of course.
Yeah,
So,
I have another 10. I have another 10. Yeah.
awesome. So let's
10 minutes.
switch it up to martial arts flicks, because I remember watching in an interview you said Bloodsport got you into martial arts. What other martial arts films did you grow up on that made you say, I have to do this?
Probably Rocky.
Okay.
I want to fight. Like watching Rocky, I wanted to fight. Like I want to. It was the blood sport was martial arts. Rocky, like I want to box. Yeah, I remember when I was growing up, I was working at it's like something like Blockbuster, like a video store.
Yeah.
We call it. We used to rent out VHS tapes. Are you old enough to know that stuff?
Yeah, of course, man. I used to rent from Blockbuster back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was something called Cinemax or something like that. Anyways, I used to work there. This is one of my first jobs. And man, on my shift, there was I could play whatever movie I wanted, I would play, like I'm talking about, like I had like a 8-hour shift. I would play Rocky 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I remember. I was like Rocky 1, I didn't like it back then. I was like, it was too much. Now I appreciate Rocky 1 so much more. But back then, get out of here. I want some action. I want some fight. I want some drama, like Rocky 2, 3, and 4. Over and over and over again. I knew all the lines. It was crazy, man. Like, and I worked there for about a year and a half, 2 years, and man, it was I would sometimes put something else, but then I remember the person working with me doing the shift with me was like, David again, Rocky again. Like, yo, what else you want to watch?
Exactly. I know the feeling. Like for me, it was Double Impact when I was 9 years old. I remember watching Double Impact. So my dad my late father back in the day had a DirecTV, but when it was DirecTV was like semi legal before you could get American satellite in Canada. So I was watching Double Impact, and I'll just never forget Bolo Young taking Van Damme and just smashing him against that warehouse container. It's like, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
That scene.
Yeah, man. Well, Bolo Young was a bad dude, man. Like he was a great villain back in the day, man. Like in Bloodsport, he was so bad, man. He was Chong Li. That was his name in the movie. And yeah, Bolo Young was a beast, man. Like just fucking, he would make his pecs move like this. Bricks not hit back. He was a beast, man. I loved watching these guys. It was fun. What an era. The 80s martial arts action movies from the 80s. Can't get enough.
Never gets old. Stallone, Lundgren, Van Damme, Bolo. Then the 90s, I'd say the 90s too a bit with Michael Jai White, who a lot of people sleep on for some reason. Like, that guy's a legitimate martial artist.
I think this guy is underrated, bro. As popular as he is, I think he deserves a little more props as an action. Like as a fighter, I mean he fought, but he didn't compete at that UFC level. Like he never fought in the UFC. So I have tremendous respect for him as a martial artist, because he did compete. Kyokushin fights, like he had a lot of Kyokushin fights. Point karate. He's a super athlete. But as an actor, I think he's underrated, and I think he deserves more recognition. That's my opinion. Some people might think otherwise, but as a fellow martial artist, I think that he I don't know, man. I would have liked to see him in Expendables. I would have liked to see him in in some movies, man. But hey, whatever. It is what it is, man. I think he has a great career, and he's a great guy. Like, I never met him, but I see his Instagram. I follow his Instagram. He's a family guy. He's someone I look up to, man. He's got the martial artist spirit. So yeah, I respect him a lot.
Him, Wesley Snipes, Blade. The one thing I don't get, Black Panther was amazing. Yeah, but you know who started that? Wesley Snipes' Blade in 1998, and not many people know that. And I still watch that opening scene. Like, you love Rocky 2, 3, and 4. For me, it's that opening scene in Blade when he just comes into the rave and he just messes everybody up.
And there's the blood that comes out from the ceiling. What a scene. Woo!
Ahead of their time. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah. You know, a friend of mine I grew up with, I started martial arts with. His name is Yves Jabouin, Yves the Tiger Jabouin. He fought in the UFC as well. You know, he's a lighter weight, and he's a huge fan of that stuff, man. If you want to speak to him, try to get him on your podcast. Like, he's a UFC veteran, legit fighter.
Any man who steps in the cage, whether it's boxing, MMA, I'll make the time for, because those are the real like guys, like the real ones, like that have seen it. And, you know, even some of the managers too, like who've like been there, you know, with their fighters, or like, you know, a guy like Burt Watson, who I had on, who the fighter's babysitter. Awesome dude, man. That guy, I got him to do his "We Rollin' on."
This guy's the best. Let me tell you something about Burt. He made my UFC debut so much more chill. Like, I didn't feel comfortable. Obviously, you're about to fight in the UFC, but man, he was so welcoming. He was so nice to us when we first came out, man. He's like, okay, guys, blah, blah. I'm Burt Watson. And, you know, you have to be here at this time for the press conference. And then there's weigh-ins, blah, blah. Hey, champ, how you feeling? Like, he was so nice. So nice. And yeah, man, we have a very good relationship. Like, he used to tell me so many stories. And then I remember he put me on the phone with the late Joe Frazier.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, I spoke to Joe Frazier on the phone because of Burt Watson. You know, he's a great guy. He's a great guy, man. I love Burt. Everybody loves Burt. Come on.
Everyone, yeah. Like, I mean, he's really helping me.
You don't love Burt, you don't love yourself.
Exactly. That man is it's one of the best. He's one of the best people I've ever spoken with. Like, I made a joke to him. Like, I said, hey, Burt, I sent a picture of me looking like Jay Leno, because people say I look like Jay Leno. You could see it. You're going to see, go on my Instagram. You're going to see a picture of me side by side with Jay. Burt's like, Burt, I'm going to get you I'm going to get you my car from my dad. And he's like, bro, we're going to have to break you. We're going to have to break you out of that garage, man. Like, that's Burt. Never missing a beat.
Yeah, Burt's the man. Absolutely.
David, I know, as mentioned, we got 10 minutes out already, because, you know, it's just flowing. But you know what? As mentioned, you're a busy guy, you know, and I want to personally, as mentioned, really say thank you for coming on my show. To get someone like you on, for what you've contributed to martial arts in Quebec and Canada. I really hope when people see this, like, people can really understand that you are an integral part of Canadian mixed martial arts history. You really are. And if there's a Quebec Martial Arts Hall of Fame, I really hope they induct you in there, because honestly, you really helped mold the next generation with what you've done, what you're doing as a gym owner now, and just your humility it just speaks volumes of how a martial artist should be, whether they're professional or not. So I really, once again, you know, it's a big honor, and I'm glad that I could really give you my platform for you to come on finally.
Hey, man, it was an honor. I really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the fact that you got me on. To be honest, man, it's really my pleasure. It was really cool, and you're good at what you do, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna follow you. Well, I follow you on Instagram already, but I'm gonna support you, bro. So good job, and keep going, man.
Thank you. And where can people connect with you? Because I want everybody to help, because you know what? There's enough success. There's enough slices of pie to go around. I live in abundance, and I like seeing people succeed. You know what? I don't.
Abundance mindset. You got it, bro. You got this. You got it. Fantastic.
That's what. So where can people connect with you, David?
I mean, my Instagram is at Davidloiseau, DavidLoiseau. That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter. You could check me out. You could check out my gym, crowtrainingcenter.com. And that's about it. I mean, those are the ways to where I'm at. I have a Facebook account, but I'm maxed out. There's a limit, friend limit, and I have 1,000 unread messages. Don't contact me on Facebook. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You have a better chance on Instagram than on Facebook.
You heard it first. Guys, the episode will be out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. If you love martial arts, please like, subscribe, and support our local small business owners, not only martial arts owners, because martial arts are essential.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.